What up, y'all? Uncle Shady at the mic. You guys see anything? Can you hear me? So that didn't work. I got copyright struck real quick. I guess that video, whoever owns that video is a little bit more vigilant about people using it. I'll probably be able to do it again at some point, but what happens is during live streams, they'll just cut your live stream off if anything is questionable copyrighted. So I'll have to make Dead Bite into a video that's not a live stream. I'm pretty sure I'll get away with this one though, but I'm not sure. Cool. You can hear me. Can you hear me now? Can you hear me now? Can you hear me now? So this song was like the second to last song that I worked on, and I only had like 2 parts on this song. The 2 most obvious parts. And this song, I would have to say, overall, this is probably their best song, in my opinion. Knife and My Black Dahlia are obviously my favorite songs. But as far as like, if I take those 2 out of the equation, I think this song is fire. Yeah, so this song was really, really good. I don't remember where, but I had gone out of town. I think I went to Arizona, went to Phoenix for a couple weeks just to get some time off away from the studio, and I came back, and Aaron had most of the music done on this one. But yeah, I think this is definitely Aaron's best work, alone without me. He kind of took, that dark stuff I was pushing towards him and did something pretty good with it. I don't know if you guys remember, I was working with a activist back in the day, and we had a podcast, a pretty big one, and we did a show on the music industry and just like what I'd learned through the music industry. And he was surprised that I didn't talk about, being in a band and stuff more often. And I was just like, oh, well, it's just whatever. And he pointed out that he was like, this song, sounds like the anthem of the revolution. If you ask me, I wouldn't be like embarrassed or like negative about being in a band that made this song. And I was like, oh, he's kind of got a point, because the song is pretty freaking good and the lyrics are really good in this song. Those dudes did a really good job on this song. I wish I could have had a little bit more to have to do with it, but I only came and did a couple screams and a couple backups. I didn't really have a lot of input in this song, but this song's straight fire. You guys all back? Gravity. Yo, you don't need that video. Use the one on the Extreme Undead channel because it's accurate lyrics. Extreme Undead. Yeah, I use his stuff mostly. But his stuff, he mostly has like the updated versions of the song, so sometimes I try and get older versions. I think I did listen to that America song. But anyway, we'll get going with this. And I am going to fully assume that this is like the later version that they put on Swan Songs, which was a little bit like the OG version of this song was a little bit more hectic. No, I did. Actually, there's double bass in this song that I know I had him add. That might have been the only other thing, I think, because he was never doing the double bass, and I was really trying to push him doing double bass in the songs. And he was mostly done with this song, and I think I only spent one afternoon with him. Um, and usually we'd go over the beats and stuff, and I'd be all, ooh, put something there, But the song's pretty good. Even though that lyric doesn't make sense. I guess it could make sense if you go deep on it. But yeah, I think lyrically, this is one of the better songs. At least in my opinion, I identify with this song probably more than any other of the other songs. Just because I'm an anarchist. Yeah, I could already tell this is a different version of the song. The other version was a lot more. It was like still slow, but it was a little bit faster at the same time and a little bit more aggressive. The evidence they have is the police sketch on my mask. And it's hard at times to ask if you could save my heart for last. And it's hard to face the facts when the darkness fades to black. It's not just make believe when they make me take a seat and they put amphetamines in the air and make me breathe. So come on and grab your children, look out for burning buildings and villains who pillage the killing by the millions. And billions of people died for a lost cause. So now I pray to my nation destroyed under God. Yeah, they took me out of that part. That wasn't me. Well, was it? Hold on. Because, there are a lot of versions of these songs in the studio, and sometimes I remember, my favorite ones. So I'm not sure exactly which ones we released, but I remember them differently. And so when I hear them, I'm like, what the hell? That sounds like Matt to me. I think that was Matt. But he was doing, they took my vocal part off and he did my vocal part. He wouldn't have come up with that on his own, like that kind of thing. Okay, that might, because the dude who reproduced this song, what was his name? It might come with me. He's a pretty famous producer. I feel like he produced a Korn album and some pretty heavy stuff. But he came in. I was DJing at a bar, and he came in, and he was like, "Hey, bro, I'm producing your old band right now." And I was like, "Oh, cool." And he was like, "Yeah, I have your vocal tracks on my desktop right now." And that was really strange. I was like, why would my vocal tracks be on your desktop? And he's all, said something about sneaking some of them in. And I was like, I don't remember, I didn't think much of it. But he said that my vocals were better than anything that they were coming up with in the studio. And it just, when you record a song and you listen to it a bunch of times and then you go change it, it's kind of like the old version. You get this idea. This was like when we recorded the first 5, 6, 7, 8 songs. Then we went into Dr. Dre's studio down in Hollywood, in Santa Monica at Universal Music Group, UMG. We re-recorded everything, and it just kind of sounded... It just kind of sounded wimpy and didn't sound as good or as raw as it did when we did it just messing around in Aaron's room. When we were just goofing around, it was really authentic-ish. And once we re-recorded everything, it just kind of you know, it lets some of the wind out of the sails of how good a song could be. So you know, that's when I'm listening to all these songs again and hearing like the versions, the weird, you know, cleaned up or completely different versions that they put on the album. It's just kind of a bummer. It's a bummer that stuff doesn't. It's still, I mean, it exists. They have it. You guys should hassle the shit out of those guys to release all that old stuff. And there's videos of us. How Jarrell, I mean, we had a video camera on us in the whole recording session at the Universal, and then like our first two like rehearsals were completely filmed. And I don't know if they ever released that stuff, but that shit's funny, man. Oh man, be hilarious to see that again. Let's watch this city. But yeah, it just sounds like a wimpy version of this song, because they changed it. But I know homie who recorded it put I know for a fact I've heard this version, and I've heard you know, my vocal tracks on here for sure. And homie was saying he was going to put them in anyway. From the sky on top of the world, till there's nothing left in her. Let's watch this city burn. The city looks so pretty. Do you want to burn it with me till the skies bleed ashes? And this fucking sky crashes. Just with matches ignite the flame. And all the hopes of a youth being fucking insane. Ross Robinson, you're right. Yeah, he's a cool dude. I had met him a bunch of times before HU did this song. I'd been to his house. He lived in like Long Beach, like right on the beach. Nice house, like really nice house. Cool house too. Like it had like multiple floors, but like, I don't know, it was nuts. Anyway, yeah, it was Ross Robinson. They played a couple weeks ago or something. Must have been like a secret show in LA. Let's watch this city burn. From the sky on top of the world, till there's nothing left in her. Let's watch this city burn the world. There's definitely a layer of me in there for sure. That sounds like Matt, me, and Aaron, or possibly Jarrell. I haven't listened to their newer stuff like you guys, so I can't tell the difference in the voices, but there's definitely a sliver of my old vocal track in that. You can hear it, like there's like 4 or 5 layers of people yelling right there, and one of them is me. But the old version was way better. Oh, this part was like, it was like a heavy metal breakdown in the old version. It was like way heavier, and there was like really gnarly drums, and like, this is definitely a wimp down version of this song. From the skylines on top of the world, till there's nothing left in her. Let's watch this city with cornfield. Those double basses right there, that's me too. I made him put those in there. Don't sound like the same drums we used. That's not the same snare we used. His fucking breakdown is so sick though. Like in these lyrics, like this is definitely like definitely one of the better Hollywood Undead songs. Like I don't think anyone can deny that. This is a really good song. Let's watch this city burn from the skylines on top of the world till there's nothing left. Yeah, Smooth Gorilla. I've heard that. It's pretty. I mean, it's pretty lame that George just straight up is lying to you guys. And out of everyone in the band I've seen, I haven't seen a bunch of footage, but it always seems like anything that George is in, he's bullshitting. He's like, oh, we're called Hollywood Undead because we used to go out at night and fucking blah, 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 blah. Like this BS story. And like, he's like the least. He's like the least like rock star dude in that band, in my opinion, or like the least apt to be a rock star. Like I saw Three Tears play once, and it was I don't know, it was way before Hollywood Undead. I went and saw his band, and I wasn't interested. It wasn't very interesting to me at all. I know you guys might like it, but it wasn't great, and the only people there were Scientologists. So, anyone in Scientology can get 200 Scientologists to show up to the show. They literally make them go to those things. Like, it's pretty funny. But anyway, let's see. And Ross Robinson also produced one Vanilla Ice album too. Yeah, like Ross Robinson is a legit legend. Like, I feel like he produced like a Nirvana album too. Like, pretty much anything heavy that came out in like the late 90s, Ross Robinson put it out. Dude was a legend for sure. He said that the label created Undead. No. Yeah, but I mean, to tell you guys that I was never did vocals in the band, like, are you joking? Like, are you kidding? And it's funny because like a lot of people believe that and like have hit me up, like, oh, Johnny Threes here says you were never in the band. It's like, and you believed him? Like, really? Okay. So, but yeah. Three Tears was like bad rock music. Oh yeah, I'm not surprised. It's not good at all. But anyway, shit. I don't mean to talk shit, but the dude's talking shit about me, and he's in a giant band and puts himself out there and says all these things. So if he can't stand a little criticism from me, then he should grow a fucking pair. Let's watch this city burn the world. Let's watch this city burn from the skylines on top of the world till there's nothing left to watch. Let's watch this city burn. Yeah, so let's watch it burn. Like that was my part I put on that song. And then that was Aaron, and that sounded terrible. Or was that Matt? Sounded like Aaron to me. Let's watch this city burn the world. Let's watch it burn. Let's watch it burn. Let's watch this city burn the world. Yeah, so, like I said, that's probably one of their best songs, if not their best song. And Ross Robinson reproduced it, but I don't think he changed it necessarily for the better. Like I said, any any of the stuff we re-recorded with, millions of dollars worth of studio and recording technicians, just didn't sound as good as the original. I can't believe this stuff is not still on YouTube. Like, this was all on YouTube back in the day. The OG first version of the Hollywood Undead #5 video has to be out there somewhere. It was up 3 or 4 times back in the day. That's crazy that all this stuff has been taken off of YouTube for some reason. Like, it's really weird. But anyway, I think that might be the last of the old songs that I was around for. After this, they did Undead. During that time was actually before that. So before this song was when I was talking to Aaron about doing the Crazy Train guitars on a song and doing the Halloween, the piano on the that piano on Halloween, the Halloween movies. I wanted to do that in a song too. So after they released, or after the Undead song, like that was dunzo for me. And I'm pretty sure I covered all the old songs. But yeah. I think that is it, unless you guys have any questions. How many times did the "Do You Want to Burn It With Me" part change? Apparently in 2007 version of City has George and Aaron on it instead of Drill and Jordan. Yeah, no, this version sounds completely different than anything I heard. The only thing I recognize on this song is that little sliver of my screams that they put in there from the original one. And Ross Robinson literally told me, because he said, your vocal tracks are on my desktop right now. And I'm like, why would my vocal tracks be on your desktop? And he's like, oh, because they sound better than anything that we've been able to record. And I was like, but they're mine and those dudes. So those dudes are just going to jack my shit. And then I think they put out that B-Sides album. That's what I forgot. I forgot because I mentioned once in another video there was some CD, like some album I needed to watch, and it might have been that one, the B-Sides, because I know for a fact I'm on that album a couple times, and they know there's no mention of me in the credits. I never got paid a cent for that stuff or anything like that, which is really sketchy for a band to do. Really shitty. A, shitty. B, sketchy because it's illegal. C, like, just throw in there like, hey, Shady Jeff did backing vocals on a couple of these songs, shout out to that dude. And like, but they straight like left it out that, it's very sketchy. I could have sued these dudes so many times, people. Like, you don't understand. I managed that band. They stole my image and my opinion, my idea, and ran with it for years and put off several albums. I could have sued their asses off. I could be getting a quarter of what they make, but I don't care. I don't care enough to. That project I walked away from, and that's it. Like, I don't feel the need, like, even when they were talking shit, it's like, whatever. Like, I don't, because I know, like, I've been in the music industry. I've friends that are huge lawyers in the music industry, and they're like, they're always bugging me about suing them, because those dudes survive by bands suing bands. So, and they know what happened to me, and they know everyone involved. So it's like, my buddy Jeff was like, yeah, I could get you a lot of money considering, what happened, but I don't. an old version of Bottle and Gun. Yeah, I for some reason I feel like I did something on Bottle and a Gun, so maybe I have to listen to that. Um, I thought the rumor was that Jeff was the one who said wrong hole. Maybe we did a lot of stupid shit, and Aaron had a lot of us just goofing around recorded. Swan Songs, B-Sides EP, and Rarities EP. Yeah, that's probably what I'll have to do next. Or just listening to it front to back or something. Have you tried Weed from Hollywood and does Weed Company? Just curious. No, last time I saw Jarrell, though, he said he was going to get me some, but that dude's a rock star. I don't talk to him that often. The old version of Undead is one where J. Job Jeff Jeffrey star in it. Old version of Undead. Yeah, I don't know about that. React to Dead Bite. I just tried to. I'll do it again, but I got to make it like a normal video. It's true that Undead was originally called Out of the Way. I have no clue. The last song I did with them was probably this one. Or like said in the past video, I also then worked on trying to get Aaron to do a couple things that he ended up using in Undead. Riddle of Bottle Gun, you're on the original Bottle. Yeah, I have a feeling I am, but I didn't like that song at all. That was the first song where I was just like, I don't want to do shit that sounds like that at all. Like we're going in one direction, and you guys are trying to take it in a different direction. Like, you know. And I was taking it like, there's 7 people in this band. If you guys want to do this, like, you guys can just leave and go do that, Like, it's like that's not at all the direction we were going, or the idea of the band in the beginning. There's also, sure, demo version of the Natives. Yeah. Charlie C mentions your name at the beginning of a song, A Bottle and a Gun. Did you do the intro, Bottle Gun? I don't think so. It's kind of sounded like a Ren and Stimpy type thing in the beginning, where it's like, I'm pretty sure that was Jordan. Or Dylan. But I don't remember, like, all I remember is like, or no, I mean, Bottle and a Gun. I'm thinking Everywhere I Go in my head when I hear Bottle and a Gun. But I recall not liking Bottle and a Gun as much as I didn't like Everywhere I Go. But anyway, I'll talk to you guys later. Peace. Watch my other videos. Yeah, so none of you guys are subscribed to me, pretty much. Like 1 out of 10 of you is subscribed to me. So please subscribe to my YouTube and click the notification button and like and comment on these videos too, because you guys all come here and you do tons of chats, and then there's no comments on there, and it looks funny, but yeah, and I will talk to you guys later. Peace.